It's official. There is now more than 3.8 million AMC common stock investors. And there's roughly about 300 institutional investors. That means we own the float. And we're going to have our chance to stand up for what we feel is wrong with this voting process. Now, it looks like we're going to have the next court date at the end of June. This is a very bullish and positive development that we were somewhat expecting to get. Now, AMC stock acting very sporadic here today, up 1.41% after being up about 7% earlier in the day today. Keep in mind you have massive earnings here in after hours, and stocks like First Republic are dropping 27% on renewed fears of a banking crisis. So this story continues to evolve, and there's a lot more to come, ladies and gentlemen. That is the tip of the iceberg. Let's get into everything you guys need to know here on the day so far with AMC stock, as well as cover the Court of Chancery news with AMC. So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. I did make a trade on AMC. If you guys want access to that trade and much more, link down below in the description of this video. So let's get into it. What the hell is going on today? Well, it's now confirmed that there are over 3.8 million common stockholders. Now, like we talked about, only a couple hundred of those are institutional investors. So really, AMC is owned by the retail investor. Now, a lot of people are going to say, well, wasn't there 4 million retail owners of AMC in the summertime, right? Last summer? Well, sure, a lot has happened since then. And even if 100 or 150,000 people or so have sold out or whatnot, very small percentage. And 3.8 million common stockholders is significant enough to enact a change and to control this company. Ultimately, that's what is going to happen. Now, let's get into kind of what happened today in the Chancery Court. So this article says AMC 8 deal hearing appears likely to be set for late June. AMC investors seeking approval for settlement of legal fight. The court required to ensure deal is fair to other shareholders. It says a settlement that would end litigation over efforts by AMC Entertainment to convert its APE units into common stock and dilute the retail investors who bailed out the company will likely get its day in court in late June. Vice Chancellor Morgantine Zern declined to schedule a settlement hearing at a teleconference early Tuesday, asking the company and the investors leading the case to agree on a date in late June. She tentatively suggested June 29th or June 30th. Quote, I'm open to getting this wrapped up by the end of June, but I think it's going to be almost impossible to do this in less than 60 days, given the stockholder interest that we anticipate. Zern said, quote, I'm not inclined to speed it up at the cost of notice to shareholders. Now, essentially what's going to happen is we're going to get this date, and then you're going to have time again to do what we have been doing, to submit your request and your opinions on what is currently, number one, you think is going on with AMC, but why it's a problem, why the settlement is a problem, why we feel like the vote was unfair. And that is why the courts appointed a mastery, right? Go color. That's why the courts appointed a mastery to go over all of these requests that they are getting from shareholders. And a vast majority of them, a substantial majority of them, are saying the same thing, that this vote was done fraudulent. That is the thing here. This was not a legal vote. You do not reward, quote unquote, common stockholders for saving your business and then go out and sell a majority stake of that compensation or dividend, as they put it, the APE shares. Go sell that to an institution and have them pledge to vote for a proposal that retail investors don't want. I mean, that is I don't know if there's more fuckery than that. I think that is the ultimate fuckery that you could do in the stock market. Like, that is literally up there with the craziest things that I have heard happen. And that just sounds morally wrong when you say that. That sounds ethically wrong. That would be like, giving someone a gift, and then a couple, they love that gift, and then a couple days or weeks later, you're like, I'm gonna take that back. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to give that to you. That doesn't make any sense. 0 cents at all. So that's what we're looking at here. It's going to take some time. It's going to be postponed. Now, there's 3.8 million shareholders of AMC. A vast majority of those, obviously, are retail investors. And all retail investors have one vote per one share that they own. So when this comes back around to court in June, it's likely, or even potentially before then, it's likely that we get a revote of common stockholders. I think that is the narrative that should really be pushed above any other, because after all, if AMC wants to do this reverse split and these proposals, fine, do it. But let the retail investors vote fairly. Don't dilute the vote with ape shares. There was not an 87% yes vote on common stockholders, and most common stockholders in the first place did not vote. It looks like almost all institutional investors voted, and a vast majority of them voted yes to this proposal, but not a lot of retail investors actually voted. So I think we're going to have another chance to vote. That's only my opinion, but the time delay that we're seeing here is going to cost shorts hundreds of millions of dollars. Keep in mind, short sellers lost $1.91 billion in the first 3 months of 2023. Now you're talking another 2 months with cost of borrow rates that continue to be in the hundreds of percents. That's a problem. That's a very big problem. And it would not surprise me to see some shorts start to cover on their short positions over the next couple of days, if not over the next couple of weeks. I still think there's going to be a very strong reaction to this. Now, we're not getting the 20+% rally that I thought was going to happen. To be honest, I thought we were going to get a little bit more clarity rather than just another court date, maybe some kind of initiative that was thrown out there, like a revote. That did not happen. The courts did not say anything about this. And this was a relatively quick proceeding. You got a couple statements and really didn't get to give any feedback whatsoever. So I do expect more updates, number one. But I do expect AMC stock to rally as like what we've seen in the beginning of trading here today. AMC was up 7% before the markets really started to take a turn for the worst. I expect that to continue as, again, shorts cannot stay in these short positions. When cost of borrow rates, the trailing 3-month cost of borrow rates, meaning the average over the last 3 months, is over 200%, shorts are getting blown out of those short positions. That's literally a fact. The numbers and the math is here to prove it. That's a problem. That's a very big problem. So that's a key of today. I do expect this to be a multi-day event where you could kind of just rally and string together 5, 10, 3, 2, 4% rallies day after day, or even spread it out over the course of a week or two. Makes me very bullish, and that is why I did make a trade on AMC here today. Now, if you take a look at the live short interest of free float, that is sitting at 25.8%, 133.2 million shares that are currently sold short. Cost of our average at 354%, cost of our max 361%, cost of our minimum 236%. Interactive Brokers has the cost of borrow rate at about 200%. The option activity for the day today, looking incredibly bearish again, which instinctively makes me bullish, and that has not necessarily been a bad way to look at things. When option activity got very bearish around April 4th, April 5th, if you just bought the stock, you bought even options or, shares of AMC, you're up quite a bit from those lows at $3.90 per share to where we currently sit at $5.07 per share. It's usually a good bet to go long when everyone is short. You've seen 98 orders totaling $25 million, positive order value of 0%. Taking a look at this Friday's option expiration, it has gotten a little bit more positive, now sitting at 31% call open interest. The put open interest sitting at 68.94%. Now, I also want to point out the fact that you have major tech earnings here and after hours. You have Microsoft and Google. Both of these combined control over 10% of the S&P and over 12% of the NASDAQ. So if these names were to collectively fall 10% apiece, that's going to push down the markets 1%. That's going to make the collateral backing AMC short positions that much more worthless, and they're going to have to either deposit more collateral or more cash or cover on those short positions. So in a weird way, again, I still think the logic of large tech stocks falling, really the safety trade, really what has driven this market so far, heading down in price, can lead to a collateral crisis with AMC stock. And it all circles round to the risk, the instability of shorting AMC, the high cost to borrow fees, as well as the explosive nature that AMC can have. It's different than other stocks. When your collateral goes down, if you're shorting AMC at a set dollar amount, you have to deposit more collateral almost on an instantaneous basis to stay at 100% margin requirements, to stay at basically a point where even if you went bankrupt, the banks aren't going to take billions of dollars in losses. They learned their lesson in 2021 and to a lesser extent 2022. So that's a big part of today as well. If we take a look at the Stonko tracker data, you're seeing a lot more calls now in the money as we are above $5 per share. 34,000 calls in the money. Out the money calls at 116,000. Puts in the money at about 31,000 and puts out the money at 300,000. Again, there's a lot of option activity for this week, and it could continue to fuel some of that upside move. Now, AMC stock at the time of recording this video is up about 2%. Now, a lot of other names are down today, and the market's overall S&P 500 is down 0.70%. So that is a pretty big drop here in stocks like Google, down 0.5%. Microsoft down 0.78%, and other names down as well does put pressure on these short. So I don't think the story is over. I think it's far from over, and I would watch over the next couple of days for that bullish reaction to really continue. And after all, it doesn't look like a lot of people are talking about this yet. It doesn't look like this has actually hit a lot of the mainstream news outlets. The only article I could find was from Bloomberg Law that literally covers the Chancery Court. So that is going to do it for this video. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. Like I said, if you guys want to come trade with me live in real time, see that trade that I put on AMC, as well as the trades that we have going for Google and Microsoft as well to play earnings and after hours, link down below in the description of this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.